What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you get around to watching us. Once again, guys, Steven Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel. All right, guys, today's topic. Boy, oh boy, Antonio Gandy Golden, whatever. Wow. Man, his film leaves me perplexed, gentlemen and ladies. Listen, this is a kid whose catch radius, it's tremendous. I mean, I did not expect to go in and like what I saw on film. I knew he would be kind of strong because the numbers he threw up at the combine indicated a very strong receiver. I mean, he put up 22 reps on the bench. I thought he was going to be somewhat strong on film. But, when you go there and you look at the 4.6 40. And by the way, that 4.6 absolutely showed up on film to me. He doesn't look like he's that much faster than a 4.6. He might run in the high 4.5s, but he's not a burner. 36-inch vertical. I figured, got it 6'4", 36-inch vertical, you're completely okay with. He's not Randy Moss. He's not jumping 39, 40, 41 inches as a 6'4" guy. But, he's going to get up. He can get the football. No problem there. But when you looked at it, look, he's not a particularly great route runner. He's had struggles in the past with drop passes, but that didn't really show up this year. I thought he played solidly this year. But I got to tell you guys, he's not gaining a lot of separation. But, man, this kid just comes down with contested catch after contested catch after contested catch. It's one of these things because everything that you watch says, caution. You get to NFL cornerbacks. They're going to fight. They're going to hand fight better than these college cornerbacks did because I think the one thing this kid did tremendously well is he was a really good hand fighter. But at the same time, man, he's a kid that if he learns a little bit about route running, you look at a guy like Alshon Jeffrey. Alshon Jeffrey's he's not a burner either. He's a 4.6 guy as well. Alshon Jeffrey had a pretty productive career for a long time before it caught up to him. This kid learns how to run some routes, guys. Man, I think this kid's an intriguing prospect. I'm turned in circles here, guys. He's not, like I said, guys, definitely not going to sell you on his route running here. But I got to tell you, man, every time you think he's not coming down with that football, the kid comes down with the football. All right, guys, I'm done hesitating. Let's just jump into the film. Antonio Gandy Golden or Golden Gandy, whatever. All right, let's run into this film, guys. All right, y'all. Antonio Gandy Golden. This is what I'll say about him. To me, looks like a traditional X-line wide receiver, guys. Now, if you go back and you watch film, look, they played him a lot as a Y. He played a little bit, inside as that Y. He played some Z, played some flanker. They moved him around. I won't say that he always stayed on the right side of the field, but he definitely was heavily utilized more towards the right side of the field, regardless of it being the boundary or regardless of it being the field side. But you'll see him. He mixed in a little more than a guy like a James Proche did back onto the left side of the field, whether it was boundary or field as well. So, a little more mixture there. With that said, this is what I'll say about him. This is a kid I think he put on the boundary.
I think it remains in the game. They give it, pull it out, throw it outfield, caught by Gandy Golden. He's carrying him.
You put him in tight windows with guys who are going to try to come up because he's such a big physical presence. This kid, he's not a burner. He's not a burner. That's not how he's going to gain you yardage. That's not how he's going to make your offense explosive. That's not his game. It's not that he can't get vertical. Don't confuse this kid. This kid can get vertical.
Albert pulls it out, looking downfield, fires, and it is caught by Gandy Golden.
But he's not a burner. He's not going to get there in the greatest time. It's not that, like in a blink of an eye, he's down the field on you. That's not his game. His game is physicality, meaning I will drag you to where I want to go. And it will take 3 guys to bring me down. This kid kept repeatedly doing this.
Cuts it to the near side. Stiffs arms the defender across the 30, down to the 20. He's still carrying people.
Guys, I think this kid has an opportunity to be a special talent. I'm not going to lie. I know, look, I know that there was a big problem last year with the Eagles. We all know it. I made a very famous video where I snapped and I went off. You can go see it. It's still up. It was following that New England game where I talked about the problems I saw with this coaching staff and the personnel decisions that were going on and how crazy awful our positional coaches were at coaching these kids up. I called out the spacing. I called out the separation this lack of separation the receivers were giving Carson Wentz. I mean, look, I get the concerns here. I understand it. But man, this kid is physically gifted. He's really physically gifted, guys. And when you get the ball in his hands, I'm telling you, man, he was dragging everybody. I mean, this kid's highlight reel is going to be nothing but him dragging defenders. This is a little fly kind of route with him. I mean, what do you do if a guy just starts dragging you? What can you do? Okay. If you want me to be critical, put my critique cap on and tell you where the problem's going to lie here. We already know it's going to be separation. He doesn't always gain separation, and he's not the fastest guy getting down the field. So when you come to separation, he's not particularly well at the top of his route stem at selling things, right? He needs to do a little more on the release here to gain the advantage on that corner. Right? I don't see a lot of double moves on film from this guy, right? I don't see this kid sinking his hips, turning around, getting sharp and crisp out of those breaks and coming back to his quarterback and presenting that target for him. But listen, the speed thing, you can't coach that. You know what I mean? Like maybe the kid can gain a little speed. I don't know. I doubt it. He's kind of, at this point in your life, you kind of are what you are when it comes to that kind of ability. But he can learn some of the precise nature of route running. Because even if you're not a burner, you can gain separation and present a target for your quarterback by having very good route stems, being able to run those routes correctly. So those things can be coached up. The speed thing, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. There are times where he beats his man. He gets past the safety, but he just doesn't have that next gear to go catch that vertical pass. Get vertical on a guy and then just take it to the house.
Albert rolling to his right, looking downfield, firing, looking for Gandy Golden, and he overshot it.
He's not always there with that. With that said, guys, look, yeah, he's not always there, but this kid is so big. And look, he's not a long arm guy. He's only 31-inch arms on a 6'4" frame. He's got big hands, though. And this kid's back shoulder, it's elite, guys. I'm telling you, this kid goes back shoulder with the best.
Albert has time, fires downfield looking for Gandy Golden, rises up and makes the grab.
This kid on fades in the end zone. He's going to be pretty good, guys. Any contested 50-50 ball that you can throw up there for this kid, you got a legitimate shot at winning it.
For Gandy Golden, rises up and makes the grab.
This kid's going to be one of those guys that specializes in, oh, you got me covered? I don't care. I'm still making the catch. Throw it up there. Give your guy a chance. Now, listen, there's always going to be that issue of, is Carson Wentz that type of quarterback? And I think he is. Obviously it's harder when no one's gaining separation. But I think, if you have a full arsenal of weapons there, you'll see Carson take more chances and put the ball up for guys. I think most of that was a result of not having vertical elements to your offense, which caused Carson to be ultra conservative with the placement of the football. So I think if you open this offense back up, you'll see guys that are more contested catch guys get more of an opportunity with Carson Wentz. That's my personal belief here on this, guys. I like this young man, okay? He's not a perfect and complete prospect by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think there is genuine and real talent here, guys. I'm having trouble projecting him. My gut tells me 4th round. But, dude, all it takes is a run on receivers. If there's a run on receivers, this kid's probably coming off the board in the 3rd. But at the same time, I don't know that there's going to be the run on receivers that people think. There's going to be a run at some point. I don't know it's going to be as early as some people are projecting. And that's what makes it hard to project a kid like this and what round he's going to go, right? Because this kid is a project. Don't get it twisted. There's a lot of work that has to happen here with his route running. He is not polished. But man, I'm telling you, this could be the kid that you look back on and people scratch their head and go, how did we miss this? How does anyone miss this kid? Didn't they turn the film on and look at this kid? Yeah, man, he's got that kind of ability to make you do that.
Pickett remains in the game. They give it, nope, pull it out, throw it outfield, caught by Gandy Golden.
All right, guys. The obvious question here is the quality of competition is going to come into question here. And I did my best to give you film on teams that were respectable in their past defenses. The majority of the clips I showed you came from Buffalo, which was the 29th ranked pass defense. But I will admit, when I was trying to find out if this kid had a more diverse route tree, I was trying to find him, do some slants, more of the middle of the field targets. The ones I were finding They were from Syracuse, which is a talent mismatch. But Syracuse, at the end of the day, is the 114th ranked pass defense. So, yes, I mean, you're going to have questions about the quality of competition that this young man faced. If you guys would like to go see further, clips of this guy, I would recommend going watching the Georgia Southern game. They were the 78th ranked pass defense. You can look for places like that to find those quality opponents. But it's always going to be a question. But look, we're projecting raw athleticism. It's all about the value in the round to me, guys. If you're looking at this guy as a fourth rounder, sure, I think that there's some merit here. That this kid's a big catch radius guy. Now, look, he's not separating greatly. Most of this is going off his ability to high point the football and use those strong hands. He's got some added bonuses. This guy's a really good run blocker. The only other big receiver who's going to match him for run blocking will be Denzel Mims.
8-yard gain. They swing it out now to Shaw. Has HET in front of him and the break and tackle down.
This kid is a fierce run blocker. But you already know how this is going to go. These are my opinions, and you already know I'm going to ask you. I want to know, what are your opinions? All right, guys, tell me what you think about Antonio Gandy Golden. Let me know what you guys think about this. And, how do we end these videos? We go E-A-G-L-E-S. All right, y'all. Let's go Eagles.